Hi there, everyone. Welcome to Disrupt Your Day podcast. I am the host, Petula, and today we have a very special guest, Monique. Let me tell you just a little bit about her. She's an Army veteran whose service sparked her love for international travel. She has lived and worked across the Middle East, Europe, Asia, making travel her lifestyle. Passionate about sharing the benefits of travel with other women. Her book, Take That Trip Girl, the Ultimate Bucket List Journal, highlights these experiences, and her upcoming work will explore the power of mindset. Please welcome this remarkable travel and author. Hello.
Tula, how are you? So happy to be here. Thank you for welcoming me to your platform.
Of course. So season four, as you know, it's all about women's authors. It's about, voices from a page and you sharing your voice, your journey. And I'm so excited to hear it all.
I'm excited to share with your audience.
Perfect. So tell me what inspired you to focus, especially on women,
Mhm.
elevating them, expanding, exploring, all that good stuff. So share with us.
I think far from I think a young age, one
Mhm.
being the oldest child, I think I have always been in a position of leading. And then of course the military, that's all you do is are you're placed in leadership positions and roles. But it
Mhm.
wasn't until I would say the pandemic when I realized like I was not fulfilled with life, and that really gave me
Mm.
an honest assessment of how I felt at that time.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, what are we going to do about it? It's easy enough to
Right.
talk about things when you're not fulfilled, but what's most
Mhm.
important is what actions are you going to take to reshape, redirect your life to the life that you would like to live.
Right.
For me, that passion is travel. So I was like, how can I take my passion and be able to not just use it, one for friends and family, but how
Mhm.
can I offer this 20 plus years of experience that I have to the masses? And my heart
Nice.
is to serve women. I mean, that's
Yes.
what I relate to being a woman. So that was like a no-brainer. So that is when I started the company, Soar Without Limits Enterprises,
Mhm.
to be able to help women um, to open themselves up to see the world via
Mhm.
travel. And I don't want to share everything in this one question, but it's
Yeah,
so
no, go ahead.
multi-faceted. Like I'm just like all the secondary benefits that I know a lot of people here travel and they think passport stamps and they think turn up, but I'm thinking more so the other benefits that you get from it, the increased
Mhm.
confidence, being open to speak to other entities, nationalities, cultures, all of those talents and skills can be
Yeah.
parlayed over into your professional life.
I love
Uh,
that because when people think of travel, you're correct. They think like, "Oh, do I need a passport? Is it going to be a scary experience?" But they don't know it's also deeply providing some sort of self-development.
yes. So hence I call myself a self-coined travelologist, the doctor of travel. So they are my students and I'm helping them to be able to grow not only in just their travel goals, but help them to grow as a person.
Mhm.
So I see it as a holistic approach when working with the women that I work with.
So have you been able to plan a trip and in, like a retreat and invite women to come yet, or is that something you're planning to do in the future?
Yeah, so we actually officially launched. I did launch during the pandemic, even though we couldn't travel. So what I did launch with was I Believe I Can Fly, which was my first course, which is teaching women the A to Z 5-week course of how to travel internationally safely, empowered, all the paperwork you need, all the protocols, like everything is in that course. And then in 2022, I took my first group to Dubai.
Mhm.
2023, I took my second group to Bali. And this year in October, we're going to Japan, and next year is Tanzania and Zanzibar.
Oh my
So
God, so amazing.
so I like to try like places that most people typically wouldn't think of, or
Mhm.
expose you to something new that, and some people may be afraid to go by themselves.
Yeah.
So offer you that um, ability to be with other women just like yourself.
Oh, I love it. So can you like tell us a little bit about your journey and your experience? I know you're saying that you've always been passionate about women, but like from a little girl to like then you ended up, in the army and like just your journey throughout that time that led you to doing all this wonderful work.
Okay. Well, those who knew me know that I would have never one imagined myself speaking to you here today.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I grew up in upstate New York, actually Utica, New York, which is 45 minutes from Syracuse.
Hmm.
So not that big of a city. And pretty much from I stayed there until 18 years old until I joined the military. And for me, I was a very super, super quiet individual. I always wanted to be in the background. I didn't talk. Like I would only talk to select like family and friends, but in school or other outside, I was very mute. And as a
Hmm.
result of that, that came from childhood trauma, from sexual molestation. That was my coping mechanism. My
Yeah.
safety was to pretty much keep everything inside.
Yeah.
Um, and I believe that I was that woman, that person well into my late 30s. And that
Hmm.
was when I started
Wow.
my journey, healing
Hmm.
journey of
Hmm.
trying to recover from that, as well as a sexual assault as an
Yeah.
adult woman,
Oh
and
wow.
noticing how those patterns showed up in my life. And I did not want to go into the second half of my life as that broken individual and operating from coping mechanisms that were no longer serving me.
Yeah.
So I say that to say, because I believe a lot of us as women feel once we're in our 40s that we give it up like, okay, I can't redirect, or I
Yeah.
can't shape my life. I've been like this my whole entire life. I'm going to remain this broken person like this, but I am a living testimony to tell you that it's never too late to make a decision, that you can take those broken pieces, bring them
Yes.
together, and make your own masterpiece of yourself
Oh
and
my
mold yourself
gosh.
be the woman who you want to be, because that's what it did for me. I haven't started public speaking until
Uh-huh.
the last year. I just felt like, okay, I'm released now to be able to share all the things that I've learned, the trauma that I've able to overcome, and help another woman not take as long as it took me. So that is my
Mm.
motivation as to also why I do what I do.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing your authentic, true story to who you are. Um, and I feel like as women, we all have some sort of trauma we went through. And like you said, we continuously go in that cycle of like trying to mask it maybe. And then it's showing up in different ways in our lives, right? And we
Yeah.
need to put that inner work in, that deep. So how did you do that? If you don't mind sharing, like did you do it on your own? Did you seek out a therapist? Did you a mentor?
Well, I will say for those who feel like they don't need outside help, we can only get as far as we've gotten by ourselves. Certain things we can't overcome by ourselves. I tried to do it by myself for 37
Yeah.
years, and
Yes.
that did not get me to where I needed to be. If you have
Yeah.
not seen a healthy version of yourself, it's going to
Yeah.
be hard for you to try to make that happen. So for me, initially, it started with dealing with a wellness coach of sorts. And
Mhm.
one exercise that I remember that stands out the most to me that she had me do was to make a PowerPoint presentation of my life. I went from
Wow!
0 to 5 years, break that down into increments, and I had to write down all of the good as well as the bad that had happened in my life. And I think many of us have never taken that time to break down our life into that amount of detail
Yeah,
outside of our head and see it
right.
on paper as to how much you may have suffered, how much you may
Mhm,
have been traumatized by, and then also at the same point, seeing how much you have been able to overcome and thrive
mhm.
in to me, that was like powerful. It was a testament to one, my inner self courage, my inner resilience.
Yeah,
And whenever I feel like myself, doubting myself, I can always go back to this and like, Monique, this has been in you since you've been a little girl. Like it's not on you, it's in
yeah,
you. So I would say that to a lot of us, we forget what we are made of and how much we've overcome and sell ourselves short. But
yes.
that's how it started for me. And then I would say in 2019,
Hmm.
when I came back living overseas in Italy, that is when I started going to therapy, and that helped me to continue to progress in my self development journey and continue to work on those traumas that have been here for decades.
Yes.
So that's where it
Yeah.
started.
Wow, that's amazing. I definitely preach always get a mentor, get a coach, get someone that
Right.
you could talk to and rely to because you cannot go through this by yourself. And that's why we promote heavily one of our journaling programs because it's about putting in that work, right? Like I love
Mhm,
like your person said to do a PowerPoint of your life. So this is similar where you're like taking stages of your life, from
mhm,
emotions to compassion to different ways, and you're learning and you're seeking, and you could have that one-on-one with if like, or a group too. I definitely believe community is very strong too. So that is such an amazing story, where from to triumph basically. So congratulations on
well,
your
thank you.
resilience and um being such a beautiful person. And I can't even believe that you were talking live up until a year ago. You have such a great personality.
Well, I think if you've been silent watching for majority of your life, you have so much you want to say. I've always had a lot to say, but I kept it inside. So once I've been released, it's just like a floodgate, like so for me, like you said, for journaling, the pen
Hmm.
has always been my microphone. I spoke
Yes.
everything through my journaling, through my writing, through my poems, through my stories. And now it's just being able to combine the two and be able to speak it verbally as well. So,
Right. So, wow, this is really great. So let's talk about, your next, recent projects, what you have coming up, and just your overall passion and deeper on what's coming in the future for Monique.
well, we have a lot of things coming down the pipeline, as a matter of fact.
Yay!
So I would like to share that Far Swole initially started off as travel, but I've always said that it's deeper than travel. And
Yes.
one way that we are making that initiative deeper than travel is that I'm launching as of July 1st. It will be the Triple E Tribe, and that stands for Elevate, Expand, and Explore. So we
Mhm.
are going to be catering to our Gen X ladies, those ladies born in
Mhm.
1965 to 1980, and we'll be offering you a community of fellow like-minded women. These are women who are already doing well, but they
Mhm.
are also looking for their next level in life. It's whether that be professionally in their entrepreneur
Yeah.
journey, their entrepreneurs. So I will be combining forces with other powerhouse leaders in my circle, those who are doing government contracting, to show you how
Yeah.
you may be able to work with the government and do that. I will also be working with women who have their own business working far as with weapons and ammunition, as far as safety and how you can come into that and
Yes.
that into travel.
Mhm.
Therapists, I'm bringing in women from various entities that are
Mhm.
going to pour into you, as far as professionally,
Yeah.
personally, mentally, and spiritually. Everything is going to come around to a circle approach. So I'm super excited about that offering coming forward so that I can have an even more expansive community and expose
Mhm.
them to other women who are interested in serving and helping them to show up as their highest selves here in the near future. So that is the most short term effort that's coming.
Uh-huh.
And they can also see me on a couple of summits coming up. Champion Comeback Champion Summit, which is
Mhm.
going to in July. You can
Mm-hmm.
register for that. That's a free thing. We have over 100 powerhouse speakers from all different entities that are beyond that. So that's Comeback Champion Summit. I'm also going to be speaking in August on the Champ I Am Summit about mindset mastery. And I will be speaking in New York for the Leo Conference, Women Empowered Conference, July
Mm-hmm.
11th through 12th. We have 100 women speakers from all across the world who will be speaking for those 2 days. So those are just a couple of efforts I can think of the top of my head that are coming down
Well,
the
that is a lot of amazing things. And I'm so excited to hear about all the speaking that you're doing. I think
Yes,
you're
I'm
a bright light. So, I mean, I thank you so much for sharing your story, and being here with us today. I have one last question for you.
yes, ma'am.
So my book is called A Love Letter to Me. And what I did was I gathered about 40 women and I asked them to write a love letter to their younger selves.
Mm-hmm.
So my question for you, I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot, is what advice would you give your younger self today?
Ooh, well, I haven't given her advice a lot of times. So actually, we are used to talking to one another, and I call her Little Mo. I'm Big Mo, she's Little
Oh.
Mo. So I would say to Little Mo that you are a bright and shining star, to
Mm.
never, ever, ever, or going forward from today forward, dim your light for anyone because you are made to shine and you are made to be the light way and the pathway for others who can't find their way out of darkness.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Well, you definitely were a light on my show today, and I appreciate you so much. Everyone, all of Monique's information will be on in the description below. Please subscribe so you get alerts when our videos and our podcasts go live, and definitely tune in to Monique and listen to this incredible story she has to share. Continue to follow our story, which is Disrupt Your Day. We are here to support you, and we're always looking for um, new people. So reach out if you have a story to share. And we thank you so much for tuning in and continuing to follow us. Monique, thank you again so much for being part of our show today. And I look forward to all the amazing things that's happening for you in the future.
Well, thank you so much again for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you.